Good morning, one and all. I am B. Sai Srija from BA LLB, first year. Today's my topic is about case of Bachchan Singh versus State of Punjab. The citation of the case is All India Report 1980, Supreme Court, and also 898 of 1980. Let us go to a brief introduction of the case. This is a landmark judgment and also the rarest of rare doctrine. It also includes freedom of life and personal liberty under Article 21. Let us go to the facts of the case. The appellant Bachchan Singh was convicted for his wife's murder and was sentenced. After a period of time, he was released from the prison and he lived with his cousin. After some days, at a midnight, he killed his cousin's children, three members, and killed very horribly. And the Bachchan Singh was given sentenced the death under IPC of 302. And also, High Court have dismissed his appeal. Instead of that, also, the Bachchan Singh has appealed to the Supreme Court as on a special leave for awarding him a death sentence as required in the section 354 of CRPC 1973. Let us see the issues of the case. Firstly, the offense of the murder in the section 302 of IPC is unconstitutional, and second aspect is special reason for awarding death penalty is required under 354 subclause 3 of CRPC. Let us come to the health of the judgment. The court said the six fundamental freedom guarantees under Article 19(1) subclause 1 were not absolute rights, and also it told that they are inherent resistance stemming from the reciprocal obligations of the member of civil societies are not to infringe or injure the similar rights on other, and also the expression of special reason was relating to the crimes and well of criminal. And finally, the judgment of Supreme Court said that it is the rarest of rare case, and also the person who is convicted of a murder is life imprisonment is a rule and death sentence is a exception. And my opinion on this case is the judgment given by the Supreme Court is correct, and also life imprisonment is reasonable to the case. And thank you.
Hi to everyone, my name is Chandrika from BLLB. Today my topic is Muhammad Ahmad Khan versus Shahrano Begum, AIR 1985, SC 945. It is a case maintenance for Muslim women. As per the Muslim law, a Muslim woman is entitled to maintenance during the period of iddat. This is a landmark judgment in securing the rights of Muslim women on the maintenance field. The court held that neglect by a person of sufficient means to not give maintenance to any dependents leads to invoking of section 125 CRPC. Even if there is a conflict, section of 125 CRPC is a secular law and hence applies to all women irrespective of their religion. The concept of maintenance in Muslim law introduced to provide support to those people who are not capable to maintain themselves. The principles of maintenance includes the basic requirements for a person for survival and includes amenities like food, clothing, shelter, and other necessities of life. Maintenance after iddat. The divorced woman who remains unmarried of the iddat and is unable to maintain herself is entitled to get maintenance from her such relatives who would inherit the properties of her death. In the absence of any such relatives or where they have no sufficient means, then ultimately the liability to maintain her is cast upon the backboard of the state in which she resides. My opinion on this landmark judgment is in our society, many women are depending women. In our society, could not accept second marriage of women. That's why I would accept this maintenance of this case. This is helpful to women for maintenance herself and children also. Thank you.
Hello guys, this is Srilekha from BA LLB first year. Today my topic is fake encounter. I got one example under the fake encounter, that is Sahat Ahmad versus State of 9th February 2018. Here, introduction to fake encounter. Fake encounter can be defined as extrajudicial killing of persons who are usually in custody by the policeman without following the rule of law. It is stated in such a way that it appears to be crossfired with a policeman. Encounter has not been new to India, but in many cases the act of police prime facie appears suspicious as per an RTI request filed with NHRP. It came into light that in between 2000 to 2017, 1782 cases of fake encounter were registered in India. I can discuss the facts of case. Here, Aziz Khan, convicted in the killing of a police officer in the 2008 Batla House encounter in Delhi, was sentenced to death on Monday by a Delhi court, which said it is the most appropriate punishment for dread terrorists like him. The encounter between the Delhi police and a bunch of Indian Mujahideen members holded upon a flat in South Delhi had led to the death of Inspector Muhammad Chand Sharma, while two others sustained injuries. In this case, nature of offence and manner of committing the crime caused extreme indignation of society. Here, the Aziz Khan was punished by the sections of under the section of 186, 333, 353, and 307, 308, or 307, 174A, and 334 of IPC and 27 of Arms AC. It has been proved on record that on. And nextly, for conclusion, exercise of a power need to be written within rule of law. Fake encounter is nothing but more than marquee of rule of law. If the policeman should do nothing the work of judiciary, there is no separate judiciary. And in my opinion, our criminal justice system and the police need to be through major change speedy trial for a person convicted of serious offences in the native of house or people are losing their utmost faith in the judiciary due to several reasonable years and years taken in conviction of a accused. Even in many cases, the accused get acquitted due to several reasons like improve investigation of past of policemen, lack of witness, etc. Thank you.
Hello guys, I am Gautami from BLLB first year. Today I am going to discuss Golaknath case, State of Punjab in 1967. Here introduction of Golaknath case. Golaknath case, State of Punjab is one of the landmark cases in Indian legal history. The most important issue was whether the Parliament has the power to amend the fundamental rights enshrined in Part 3 of Indian Constitution. I can discuss the facts. The family of Henry and William Golaknath held over 500 acres of farmland land in Jalandhar, Punjab. In the face of 1953 Punjab Security and Land Tenures Act, the state government held that the brothers could keep only 30 acres each. Few acres would go to tenants and rest was darkest surplus judgment. In this case, at that time the Supreme Court had the largest bench ever. The ratio of the judgment 6:5, majority was favoring the petitioner. Since 1950, the Parliament was used Article 368 and have passed a number of legislation that had one or another way have violated the fundamental rights under Part 3 of Indian Constitution. The major said the power to amendment an article of the Constitution in this under Article 248. Supremacy of the Constitution, secular charter of the Constitution. To get over the judgment, the Supreme Court in the Golaknath case in 1967, R.C. Cooper case 1970, then government headed by Prime Minister Indira Gandhi had enacted the major amendment to Constitution of India 24, 25, 26 and 29th. Conclusion. The Golaknath case, state of Punjab, is one of the important cases in Indian history. The judgment of this case at very crucial time. It came when the democracy was suffering from the start of what later became the darkest decade of India. Thank you, ma'am.